Hi and welcome back. Up to now, we learned how to create EPS, how to create OBS, how to link EPS and OBS, then how to create a calendar. In this session, we are going to learn how to create a project. We already seen the details of the project in one of our previous session. Okay, so our project is a one-story house. This project is under the company RRK Building. Okay. Let's see how we plan this project in Primavera. For that, let's open P6. The window we are seeing is project window. Okay, we can identify the window by this name. It's written here project. So this is project window. In your P6 software, if you are not getting this window, you can always open it from this enterprise menu. Here we can see projects under enterprise. Okay, when you select that, project window will open. Okay. Now project window is mainly divided into three parts. The first part here, this table area, here we can see the EPS structure which we created earlier, and this one is the Gantt chart area. This is the details area. Boundaries between these sections can be moved or adjusted according to our requirement. Okay. Here in table area we can see many columns such as project ID, project name, etc. Okay. So in Primavera we can find too many columns. We only use those columns which we actually need for our work. So whenever we work on any window, we only use the columns which we really need. Here these two columns, total activities and strategic priority, we don't need it. Okay. So let's remove it. For that, right click here in this area and select columns, and in columns select customize. This is the window for columns. Okay, here we can see three parts. Okay, this part, first one, then this one and this one. Here we can see all the buttons like OK, cancel, apply, etc. Now these are the columns which we can see on the project window. Okay, here in this section we can see all the columns available for project window. We can expand each section like this. Now if you want to add any columns to the project window, first you need to select it, then click this button. Okay, it will add that column to the project window. We can also reverse this action by selecting that column and clicking this left arrow button. See, it gone back. Now let's remove some columns. Let's remove total activity column, then strategic priority. Okay, we can also remove this column by simply double clicking. Okay, see, it's gone. Now let's remove current budget column also. Now we have two columns left, project ID and project name. Okay, so let's click OK. Now see, only two columns here, remaining columns are gone. Okay, now let's start creating our project. Okay, so our project, the one-story house, is under which company? RRK Building. So first select that EPS. Okay, like this. Here we can identify EPS using this pyramid symbol. All the rows with pyramid symbols are EPS. Okay, now let's create a project by clicking this button, add button. Okay, now this is the window for creating a new project. First step is to select the EPS. Our EPS is RRK Building, which here is already selected. Now if we want to change, what we need to do is click this button. It will open the EPS window. Here select from this list. Okay, so we need to select the EPS or the company under which our project is going to run. Here our company is RRK Building, so we selected that, then click next. Here we need to enter project ID and project name. So our project name is one story house. Okay, so let's type one story house. Next is project ID. Project ID generally is a short form or a code or an ID which represent our project. Different companies have different standards for project ID. If there is no standard for creating a project ID in our company, we can create our own project IDs based on some logics. So here let's create a project ID. Okay. Now our parent company is RRK Limited. So I am giving the first letters as RRK. Okay. Now which branch of this company got this project, this one story house project? RRK Building. Okay, so I'm giving code as RRK B for building. Now let's add the location. Suppose this project is taking place in India. So let's add I for India. In India, project is taking place on Kerala. So let's add K for Kerala. Our project name is One Story House. Now let's add the short form for that. 1SH. Okay. Let's assume we have multiple one-story house projects taking place in Kerala. This one is second one. So let's add 002. This is a simple example how we can create our own project IDs. There are lots of information in this ID. This project is done by RRK Building in India, in Kerala. This is one-story house and this is the second one. Okay. These all informations we can read from this ID. There is no standard procedure for creating a project ID. Normally in projects, the project ID will be mentioned in project documents. We will use the same ID while we create project plan or schedule. The project ID creation method which I used here is just an example for creating our own project IDs in case we don't have any official IDs. Now let's click next. Here we have two options, project plan start and must finish by. Now if we know the project start date, we can enter it here. Okay, for entering date here, click this browse button here. It will open the calendar. Let's set 1st February as the start date for our project. Okay, start date is set. Now must finish by. This is not a mandatory field. In projects, there are situations where we need to finish our project by some date. That date will be given by our client or someone. In such situations only, we need to enter finish date here. Otherwise, just leave it blank. Here, let's keep finish as blank. Start date we already entered as 1st February. Okay. Now, click next. Here, we need to enter the responsible manager for this project. For that, click this browse button. It will open the OBS structure. Okay. From this, select project manager. Here project manager is responsible for this project. Now click next. Rate type. Here there is no need for changing this. So keep it as same and let's click next. Okay, we finished the steps for creating a new project. Let's click finish. Now we can see here under RRK building a new line has been created. Okay, with a project ID and a project name. Now the difference between these two lines are the above one is EPS, okay, and the below one is a project. Above all these lines are EPS. We can identify EPS by its symbol. Pyramid, it's the symbol for EPS. Folder is the symbol for projects. So pyramid for EPS and folder for projects. Okay, now see this folder symbol is open, right? It's open. Now see this folder, it's closed. Okay, so this folder is open because this project is already open. This means whenever we create a new project, that created new project will be in open state. There is another method also. Just look at this title. Here we can see our created project's ID and project name, which means the project is open. Now let's see how to close this project. For that, let's go to File menu and this option, Close All. Select that. Click Yes. Now see this, that open folder is closed now. These both folders are now in same shape. Also the title changed to No Current Project. Now for opening a project, first we need to select our project. First we need to select it, then right click and click Open Project. Okay, our project is open now. When we open a project, we will directly go to activity window. Here we can see activities. So this is activity window. We can also see the projects tab here. This is same like internet browser. All the open windows will be listed here as tabs. Okay, so for going to project window, just click the project tab. It will open the project window. For going to the activity window, just click activity tab. Okay. We will learn activity window details in next session. In this session, we learn how to create a project. Here we can see the folder is open, means our project, this one story house is open. So let's close this by going to File, Close All. Now click Yes. Now our project is closed. I hope you understand the steps for creating a new project. Up to now, we learned to create EPS, OBS, then linking them. Then we learned how to create a calendar. Now we learned how to create a project. So that's it. I am trying to keep this course simple and interesting as possible. If you have any doubts, let me know. Okay, so let's meet in our next session.